Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey. Here's a very important concept: you are not your players. This is something that you definitely need to pay a lot of attention to if you want to avoid having a bunch of frustrated players as soon as you launch a game. Basically, as you are developing your game, it is extremely easy to forget just how much familiarity you have with your own game. You've been developing your game for hundreds or thousands of hours and everything seems so straightforward, but if you make the mistake of assuming players won't have that same familiarity, you will have a lot of sad and frustrated players. So do remember, you are not your players. Meaning when you're defining some kind of tutorial for your game, you cannot assume that players are going to have the same level of familiarity as you have been building your game. Things that are insanely obvious to you will be completely oblivious to a lot of players. This is honestly one of the most interesting but also most frustrating things about how as soon as you publish your game, you will have people playing your game, and you won't be able to see a bunch of people playing your game, and it will be quite painful to watch a video kind of like this, see them playing their game and missing things that are completely obvious to you as a developer, but obviously they're not obvious to the average person. This is why playtesting is so insanely important. You need to actually test your game with actual real players that do not have the familiarity that you have, in order to be able to understand how does a random player play your game, how does a random player understand all of your mechanics, and doing so you'll be able to make much better tutorials that will help the final players actually enjoy your game. For example, in this video, this one is by Orbital Potato. Here he is playing my game Dinky Guardians during the demo build. So this was before the final build, so I was still polishing things, and thanks to this video I managed to polish a bunch of things. For example, at one point he had no idea why this mining machine stopped mining black crystals. It's because it had all of this waste around it, and when it had way too many hours around, it would not spawn new nodes. That was an intentional mechanic, but I made the mistake of not explaining that. So after watching this, and after seeing him struggle with that, I made a point of basically adding that message on top of the machine, saying this machine cannot gather because there's way too much stuff around. Another example was this video over here. This one is by Splattercat playing my game Battle Royale Tycoon. And over here, so he set up the food vendors and the toilet, but nobody was actually going there because that one should have a waiting queue just like that. But over there, he just placed normal floors. Again, that's my mistake as a developer because I did not have some kind of message saying, oh, this needs a waiting queue in order to work. Because I didn't add that in this version, he did not know that he was making this quote-unquote mistake. Although again, like I'm saying, the real mistake was by myself as a developer, because I was so familiar, it was so obvious to me that each building obviously has a waiting queue, that I didn't think to make that insanely obvious. I just added a message saying this needs a waiting queue right in the beginning of the tutorial, and then afterwards just assumed that message was basically understood by the player. But of course, you have to remind your players over and over again about the mechanics, especially when something does not work. You have to make sure you've got some big bold letters, some big warnings, so that players know exactly why things are working or not working. And an example that actually went well for me was this one over here. So this is a video by Markiplier playing my game Blueprint Tycoon. And on this one, despite this being a very complex game, I did work insanely hard in the tutorial for this to make it as understandable as possible. And even though it is a very, very complex game with a lot of mechanics and a lot of complexity, despite that, he was actually able to go through this. And I don't think he actually got stuck. I think he only got semi-stuck one thing. Basically over there, he canceled the route that was taking things to the lab. That was the only thing. Everything else, he managed to learn everything perfectly. Ideally, this is how you want your games to be. Even if they are insanely complex, if you make a really great tutorial, hopefully players should be able to easily play it. So basically all of those examples just remind you, you are not your players. So like I wrote here, yep, remember how much familiarity you have with your own game and how an average player will not have that much familiarity. Like I wrote here, so one developer wrote an interesting report on everything that happened once players got their hands on their game. And thankfully in this case they were streamers, which meant the developer got to see exactly how they were actually playing the game and how many things they missed. Like I said, this is one of the best things about publishing a game is watching others play your game. But again, like I said, it also has that very frustrating thing where the players are completely oblivious, missing out something that for you as a developer is obvious, but obviously for them it is not. So in this case, the streamers did not interact with various mechanics in the game, probably because they never knew they existed. They spent hours on foot while forgetting the game includes a car. I've actually done this with some games myself as a player. In several games, I was just walking around from one place to another, just walking for like 30 minutes until I realized, oh, the game actually has some kind of vehicle, some kind of fast travel mechanic. Or like here, how only one player used fast travel, no one uses zoom mechanic and so on. So you have this the red post, so it's titled, I've seen 20 streams of my demo and realized that I totally messed up what matters and what's not in my game. It's basically all of those things, like the main one over here. So streamers played my demo very slow, so it took more than 3 hours for them to finish. Again, you as a developer, you are going to go through your demo, through your game very quickly because again, you already have that knowledge, but remember how that is not true for players. So in this case, I would say this one is not necessarily a negative thing. Having players take longer than you take as a developer is a perfectly natural thing. Then some streamers were afraid to go back to base when they ran out of resources because they thought all progress would be lost. So again, you got to clarify all of your mechanics to the players as much as possible. Nobody mentioned a swarm of flies over the garbage bin. I worked 2 days on it. That's kind of a funny thing as a developer, which is how you can spend so much time, so much effort building something, and then you watch a player play your game and they just breeze right through it. So basically, remember how you as a developer have a completely different vision of the game compared to someone playing it for the very first time. Do not assume anything is just obvious because it isn't. If you have yet to publish your very first game, I really want you to internalize this. Do not assume anything is obvious because for the players it is not. If you think you've got way too many flashing lights, way too many flashing text and so on, chances are you actually probably don't. You need to make it insanely obvious for the very important things in order to make sure the players actually do see it. So really the best practical advice is to intentionally do what this developer did unintentionally, which is how playtesting is key. Get players to play your game and if possible watch them play it. That is always the best way to do playtesting, is to have players and either watch them physically standing behind them, although make sure you don't actually tell them things. That was actually a mistake that this developer over here said, so streamers played my demo very slow, so it took 3 hours for them to finish, and then he says, I had to be in the streamers chat all the time to tell them which button to press and what to do. This is something you should never do when playtesting. You should let players really just play the games as they are. Then you should be basically behind them with some kind of notepad, basically taking a bunch of notes. Because remember how most players will not have you behind them. So if you design your playtests so that they only function if you are behind giving them direct tips, if so, then basically that will not function for 99.99% of players. So watching players play is awesome, either physically standing behind them or really just have some playtesters record their screen. And even better if you can record both the screen and their own faces. And then you can see what is actually obvious for the players and what is actually not obvious. By watching them, that way you can quickly see how so many things need more explanation or more flashing lights. Your tutorial needs to be almost too obvious in order for it to just barely work. So remember this to avoid frustrated players. If there's one thing that leads to negative reviews and refunds is frustrated players. Players start playing your game, they want to enjoy your game, but then everything is confusing, nothing is well explained. If that's the case, they will be very frustrated, very sad, and likely refund and leave a negative review. You do not want that, so you definitely make sure you playtest things, make sure the onboarding for the game is as smooth as possible. Personally, I have had this exact problem several times with my games. It is actually insane to watch a YouTuber play your game and see the giant flashing tutorial sign in the corner that the streamer is simply not seeing while complaining that they're stuck. No matter how obvious you think it is, for some players it is never obvious enough. And yep, I've definitely seen some videos of players playing my game, and like I said, it is both a very positive thing to watch people play your game that you worked so hard on, but also so insanely frustrating to watch them miss something as you got some flashing lights in the middle of the screen, but they're really just focused on something else and they're not really seeing all those flashing lights. So it is very important to remember how you are not your players. Things that are obvious to you will not be obvious to a player. In order to avoid getting negative reviews and frustrated players, make sure you playtest a ton. Playtest with all kinds of players, players who are very hardcore gamers and players who are casual gamers. Playtest with everyone in order to make your tutorial as perfect as possible, which will then lead to happy players, happy reviews, and lots of success for your game. After a long time, we finally have another awesome Cinti Humble Bundle. This one is 95% off and contains a ton of awesome sci-fi assets. You've got a sci-fi city, sci-fi space. It even includes a bunch of awesome HUD elements. You've got their basic locomotion pack, and it includes their sidekick character creator. It's a super deep discount, 95% off. So if you feel like they're low poly style just like I do, then check it out with the link in the description. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.